Well, welcome back, everybody. It is Melanie Mitro, the host of the Melanie Mitro Show, and I'm excited you're here today because I have actually done similar episodes to this in the past, and it is one of my most listened to and most requested podcast episodes. And the reason is because it's something that people, whether you're a leader in the direct sales industry, or you're just starting out, you find really challenging to share your vision and communicate your vision with your team in a way that doesn't feel like it's just about you. And that's what we're going to break down today. We're going to give you this formula that I follow anytime I'm personally sharing my vision with my team, or I am teaching, whether it's within my mastermind or coaching programs or with my one-on-one clients. This is the formula that I follow, the framework that really helps you create and communicate a vision that is going to help you get to your goals and your team get to their goals as well. So as we head into 2026, it's imperative that you have a vision. It is not optional. It is an important part of both self-leadership and the leadership of your team. And what I find is that most leaders never share their vision because they think it's irrelevant to the team, or it's selfish, it's self-led, only about themselves. Why would somebody else want to work towards your vision, what you've created for your life? And really, the reality is that your team needs a leader with clear direction, and they actually want to follow somebody who is going somewhere, who has a vision for a better life, whether it is a better life with your health, your finances, the job, the career that you have, the relationships that you're building, right? And so when a leader creates a vision, people want to follow that. And we all start off, no matter where you're at in your business and life journey, we all start out with 0 followers, 0 friends, 0 impact in whatever space that we're in. But how we build that trust, that authenticity, that leadership, that following is by continually sharing the vision and inviting people to come along, and then showing up and leading from the front. So we're going to dive into that today. I hope you're excited for this. If you haven't yet taken a quick moment, I feel like you should just hit pause, share this episode with a friend and say, you need to listen to this. This is a must listen, especially as we start to set our goals for the new year. This is a really good time to do this activity. And as we wrap up 2025, right, we're coming to the end of the year. I want to make sure that you can do me a huge favor as I'm starting to plan 2026 and what the show is going to look like. I would love nothing more for you to do a few things for me. Number one, can you head on over to the Melanie Mitro Show on Instagram? Can you give me a follow there and follow the account? Take a screenshot of you listening to an episode and tag me at the Melanie Mitro Show. It's a great way for me to connect with my listeners. I also serve a lot of great content over there as well, and you'll be in the know whenever there is a new launch of a program or a product that is coming your way, because I've got a few of those things that are in the works. The next thing is, make sure you head to the show notes of this episode today. Get on my newsletter list. I send out a leadership and business newsletter every single month, and it's a great way for you to just get additional coaching and insight into, your business and support along the way. And again, I also do some VIP early access to people of what I have that is in the works as well. Okay, and last but not least, not to give you too many to-do list items today, but it really is super helpful. If you can head on over to iTunes, if you can follow the show, leave me a rating and review. Just click on the show, scroll down, you'll see it says leave a rating and review. If you just leave a rating, you leave a review, it helps other listeners like yourself to find the podcast. And then also, if you're on Spotify, follow the show, give it a like. Super helpful, right? Just, it's so noisy out there with lots of podcasts that you can listen to, and we want to make sure that this show really gets to the right people. And by you sharing it, it does just that. All right. So thank you so much for everybody that has been here, that has been binging the podcast from the beginning. Maybe you've been here since I started it, and maybe you're a new listener. I'm just so grateful that you chose to be here with me. I don't take that lightly, and I want to show up and serve you with every single episode. All right, let's talk about how to actually share your vision with your team and why it matters. So, I talked to you a little bit about having a vision. It's not optional. It's a part of self-leadership and it's a part of developing that leadership for your team. And it's not something that is selfish. It's not irrelevant. Your team, they signed up with you for a reason. They follow you for a reason. They have trust in you. And so it's our job to be good on that commitment that we made to those people and to lead them and to share the vision. And it is going to grow over time as you grow and you achieve goals. It's going to inspire your people to go after theirs as well. So let's break it down. Let's talk about how do we actually create a vision? How do we share it? How do we make it the most authentic that we can make it? That's what we're going to talk about today. So step number one, before you talk about team vision, we've got to get clear on your personal vision first, all right? So the first and foremost, we need to get clear on our personal vision. We have to know where we're going as an individual. So what I want you to do, and I don't believe that this is something you can accomplish in one brainstorm session. This is going to be an activity that you come back to and you just continue to build out. But I want you to begin to ask yourself, what do you want out of your business? What do you want out of your life? What is your vision for your personal life right now? And I want you to think about things like, how much money do I want to have in the bank account? And what do I want to have in savings? Do you have a vision of paying off your debt? How much debt? What kind of debt? Do you want to be mortgage free? Do you want to save a certain amount for your retirement? Where do you see yourself in 3 to 5 years from now? And for those of you that are not naturally wired to be dreamers and you're more of the realist personality style, this can be hard for you because you are like, I can't dream if I don't know all of the steps that I'm going to need to take to get there. Or I can't dream because I don't even know if it's possible, right? I need to know there needs to be a guarantee that if I do X, Y, and Z, I can build the dream and it's going to become a reality. And so part of me is like, I need us to let's take a deep breath. Let's just really say, I'm going to lean in. I know that I can't control everything along the way. And there's going to be roadblocks and obstacles and things that I never anticipated that are going to pop up. But if money and time, resources were not an issue, how do you want to spend your life? What do you want the next 3 to 5 years to look like? Let's not worry about what's going on right now or the lack of time and resources that we do have. If money, time, and resources were not an issue, how would you want to spend your life? Now, this is where everybody's going to be wildly different. So as I give you examples today, I don't want you to go, oh, mine doesn't look like Melanie's, so it's not good enough. We're not going to go there, right? We want to make sure that right now we are really leaning into what do you want your life to look like 3 to 5 years from now? So I want you to say, how do I want to spend my days? What's my financial vision for myself and my family? What's the kind of impact that I want to make? What is the legacy that I want to build? So you sit down and you start to think about that. And if I pull out my journal and I go back through, I oftentimes am working on my vision. I'm oftentimes every morning I review that vision that I have for my life. And so what do I want my life to look like 3 to 5 years from now? Well, I have 2 high school boys. They're 9th grade, they're 10th grade. And in 5 years from now, we will be empty nesters. I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud. But my 3 to 5 year vision is to own a home in Florida. That's always been a dream of mine. I've been probably talking about it for a decade now. Not that we couldn't do it right now, but it doesn't make sense for us because we have boys that are involved in sports and school. And, that's just not something that's on our radar. But being snowbirds and having that second home, that is waking up in the cold winter months and being able to take a walk in warmer weather and be outside more and just have that fresh air and to be able to go to the beach and walk the beach, like all of that's the 3 to 5 year vision. The 3 to 5 year vision is building a multi 8-figure business, 8-figure team, having that next wave of leaders, having that income that allows us to live the lifestyle that we want to live without and being maybe semi-retired. I'm not even sure that that's it. See, notice how I'm like, I don't know, maybe that's something I want, but I'm going to put that on there as like optional, because I know once I get there, I'm really entrepreneurial. So I'll probably come up with another business idea, another way that I can serve people, or maybe I will just have another way that I'm serving within the space that I'm in right now. So how do I want to spend my days? I want to wake up to either some sort of water, whether I'm looking at a lake or an inlet or an ocean. And I want to be able to sit on the back porch with my big giant porch swing bed and have my matcha and do my morning routine and have slow mornings. And then I want to do a workout and take a walk and have a good breakfast and probably sit in my office that overlooks the water and do some work, serve my team. I think about hosting Christmas at our beach house and everybody coming in and just celebrating the holidays together in the warmer weather. And then I envision myself coming back to Pennsylvania in the summer times when it's gorgeous and beautiful here as well. I envision having this nice big open air space for everybody to spend time. I would love nothing more than to host Christmas brunch on the patio, right? So that's me. That's my personal vision, right? Personal vision. That's some of the things that I want for my personal life. And then I go into like business, right? What do I want for my business? I want to be a published author. I want to have my public speaking career. I want to have my coaching programs. I want to lead a, multi-million dollar sales team, right? So I'm thinking about all the things that I want to do and I'm writing that all down. And while I'm doing it, I'm reminding myself that I can't lead my people anywhere that I am not willing to go. And so I can't teach my team to go after a vision if I'm not going to create one myself. So this is your North Star right now, our starting point. This is our North Star, because without clarity, vision casting really does feel forced. And so it's okay for your vision to change. Sometimes we go through life. I mean, guys, the reality is I could have this dream of this beach house and then I could change my mind, and that's okay, right? I could say, I've decided I want to live in the beach. I don't like the humidity, whatever it might be. And I could decide I want to live on a lake. That's okay. But the point is you have something you're working towards. All right. This is not cement. But it is a direction. It's something that excites you and that you're passionate about and that you want to work towards. All right. That's number one. The second part of the process is now you need to identify a team vision. You've got your personal vision, but now we need to craft the team vision. And I want everybody to take this time in December to really take a step back and say, over the past 12 months, what have I accomplished in business? Is it me, myself, and I? It's been you just building your own sales and developing your good customer service. And so now you're at this stage of your business where you're like, okay, I've got a good customer base. How do I now build a team? So maybe over the next year, your vision is more about, I want to build a team of 12 people who really do have a passion for wellness or skincare or beauty, whatever your industry might be. It might be travel or it might be real estate too, but sitting down and saying, what is it that I want to accomplish over the next 12 months, right? So it might be, I want to have a team of 12. I want to double my sales. I want my organization to double their volume. So I want to host a team retreat. So get yourself some like tangible things that you want your team to accomplish, excuse me, over the next 12 months together. Then the next thing I want you to think about, why does this matter? Why does accomplishing these goals matter? Because if you just pick a number out of thin air because it sounds good, and it doesn't really have any emotional attachment to you, what you're going to find is that when you're hit with headwinds, you're going to go, yeah, the vision didn't really matter anyway. So I don't care if I do or don't hit the goal. And so you'll step back and it just won't be compelling enough for you to show up. So when I say I want to double the size of my team in 2026, or I want to have 50 platinum elite ambassadors on my team, now I'm thinking about, why does that matter? Why does that matter? So now I'm going to list out the reasons why it matters. Well, it's stability in my organization. It's additional volume. Volume translates to dollars. That means that I'll be making a bigger income. But I also am thinking about, what's it going to do for my team? So if we double our organizational volume, I know that that is going to mean that Susie, who is in my downline, her volume is obviously growing. And if the goal is to double the volume, that means she's building her business, which means she's now achieving her vision, her goals, things she wants for her life. And so that's really important, that you're thinking about, okay, if I set goals and I set a vision, I'm pushing my team, what is that going to do for them? And I'll give you an example of this. I set this team goal. I said, we're all going to tier up. We're all going to move our commission tier up in a specific month. And so what happened was, I knew that if people tiered up, their paychecks were bigger, which meant it was building belief in their business. It was allowing them to have more flexibility in their finances, and it was lessening some of the financial pressure that many of them had. So I knew that it was helping my team to have success in their own lives. So setting a team vision and getting your team to do something and move in a certain direction is not just good for you, it's good for them too, because they're achieving their goals. So remember that, right? So you have to remember that this isn't, just I'm going to make more money, but it really is about how the team as a whole doing more is going to help every single person achieve their goals. Team vision isn't just about getting your team to support your goals. It's about showing your team, right? It's about showing them how, if we all work together towards this goal, it's going to help you grow too. Your team needs this, right? You need this. Like, you have to keep sharing it over and over and over again, right? Because it does matter. People need to hear things more than once. All right. So now that you've created your team vision, we're working through the layers, right? This isn't selfish. This is communicating the team vision. People want to work towards a team goal. I'll give you a good example of this. The first time that I wanted to go number one in my company, I told my team, I want to be number one in the company. I know that by going top in the company, that means that you all will be achieving success. By you working towards and hitting the goals that help us go number one, I know that Susie's making more money, and Sally's, able to retire early, and Jamie is able to make that extra payment that she wants to make on her kids', school tuition. And so it was like, I know that if we hit this goal, it means we're developing leaders, people are hitting their goals, and everybody is succeeding. And so I talked about it's not just me is the top leader in the company. It is a we thing. We are the top team, and all of you can use that stat in your marketing. So it's something that we can take shared responsibility for, and really can be good for everyone. And so that first year that we achieved that number one spot in the company, our team stood proudly on stage and celebrated that. We were able to, for 12 months out of the year, say, you can join the number one team in the company. And so by me leading the way and setting the goal, I helped build credibility and belief in my entire organization. And that's exactly what I want for you. You leading the way, you going first, you doing the hard work is building belief that it is possible for the people that are coming alongside of you. Okay. So number 3, the next step is, now we need to connect the vision to the people that we work with. And I actually have already really walked you through this, but I feel like this is where most leaders kind of miss the mark, right? So anytime I go live, anytime I'm sharing what the team vision is, like, we're going to double the organizational volume in 2026. We're going to double it, right? We're going to double it in the first half of the year. Now I need to say, all right, team, here is how this vision helps you earn more. When we double our organizational volume, it means your sales are growing, which means your commission checks are growing. It means that you're raising your commission tiers. You're doing the same amount of work, but you're getting paid more money. And so I say that over and over. If we hit this goal, it means that you guys are now getting one step closer to your goals. It also, right, that creates opportunity for them. That creates more freedom and flexibility in their lives. And I also know that by us doubling our organizational volume, it's going to help more leaders emerge because their confidence is building and they're excited about what they are creating, which means they're more likely to share it with other people. I always make sure that anytime I share a big vision, I connect it back to how hitting a promotion, how increasing your volume, or building your team is going to support their personal goals. All right. So you want to make sure that if you set out a goal, you explain how that goal is going to help that person grow, how it's creating more stable income and opportunity for themselves. All right. So this is how your vision moves you closer to your goals. All right. Step number 4. This is actually really important. We've done a lot of vision casting. And this is where I like to say, this is where the hype is at. Sell the vision, right? That's what the greatest salesmen in the world, in history, have done. They sell you on the vision. But what is going to create the actual results is when you sell people on the vision and then you show them the roadmap. You give them the roadmap, because motivation without direction is not going to last. That's just hype. When you create direction, it creates clarity. Motivation without direction is confusion. Motivation with direction is clarity. So now, when I'm sharing my vision on with our team, the next step I say is, we're going to double our organizational volume in the first half of 2026. And here's how we're going to do it. In January, we have a team-wide promotion. Here's what it's going to be. And I'm going to roll out an incentive. The second thing I'm going to do is every single month we're going to have a launch calendar, or we are launching a social media training for, like, because that's a skill set maybe that people, are not super strong at. So maybe I tell the team, all right, in the first quarter, we're going to launch our social media course. It'll be a great way for you to skill up, or we're going to have monthly accountability meetings to help hold you accountable. Or maybe we're going to have some sort of mentorship program or mastermind that we're doing. Maybe it's a retreat or an event. So what you want to do is you want to give people the roadmap. We're going to double the volume. And this is what the reward is going to, or this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it through these specific things. And you begin to lay out exactly how you're going to get there. All right. And so this is where your team goes from, I'm inspired by the vision, to now I know what my first step is that I need to do. My gosh, I can't tell you how many times people have gone to a conference or convention. They go to the conference and convention. They're so hyped up when they leave. That's it. This is going to be my biggest year yet. I'm going all in my business. I'm going to make it big. And they go home and have analysis paralysis because they don't have an action plan, because it isn't clear what the next step should be. So we just don't want to leave people on hype. We want to make sure we're giving them a really solid action plan. So that's what we need to make sure that we're doing. All right. People have an action plan that goes along with the vision. And then step number 5, this is where trust is built. This is the key stage. This is also the step that people do not follow through. You have to follow through and be consistent as the leader. This is where the trust is built. Your vision for the team, it dies without consistency. Do you know how many times I'll be mentoring somebody and they're like, my team, they just aren't showing up. They just aren't doing it. And then I ask the leader, I'm like, okay, but are you doing it? And it's like, they're wishy-washy. One month they hit a goal, the next month they fall off the face of the earth. Then they're back again, they're ready to rebuild, and the next month life hits them with something and they take a whole month off. And so if a leader does this, a whole team does this. And if a leader speaks vision to her team the first time, they're going to get on board. But if a leader speaks the vision a second and a third time and there was no follow through, you lose a little bit of trust. You erode away that trust factor with people. So what I want to encourage you to do is be consistent with your follow through. Your team watches what you do, not just what you say you're going to do, which means you've got to show up on the good days and the bad days. And even on the days that you question whether or not you're qualified to lead this team. We all have moments like that. I mean, we all have days where we don't feel motivated. For example, at the time that I'm recording this podcast episode, earlier in the week, had this horrible migraine. Horrible. It was like 48 hours straight migraine. I could have very easily canceled all of my meetings for those 2 days and laid in bed and maybe taken the rest of the week off because it just had been a hard week. But I was looking at my calendar and I had all of these meetings that were scheduled, all of these people that were counting on me. And as I looked at the calendar, there really was no place to move things around. You know, we're getting closer to the holidays, and just I knew that it was important that we kept the timing of the calls, right? And so I chose to show up. I wasn't feeling my best, but I chose to show up and bring my best. I modified the situation a little bit by wearing some glasses and turning off the lights, and it just wasn't as fancy, but I still showed up. I kept my word with people. And so, even when I run a promotion and it's not going the way that I wanted it, or half of the people didn't show up for it, because I said I was going to do it, I stick with it to the end, because I know that when I show up, people eventually get on board. And as I bring more people into the business, the right people continue to get on board, right? The people that don't have the vision and belief, they fall by the wayside. The people that do have the vision and belief, they get on board. We start moving in that common direction. And so if you want people to follow you, then they have to believe that you're going where you say you're going. Hands down, I would say this is probably the number one reason why some people really struggle to gain momentum in their business. And not even with a team, but just on social media in general. Are you a ping pong ball? Do you show up consistently? Do you do what you say you're going to do? Or have you tried 30 businesses in the last 18 months? And maybe I'm over exaggerating it a little bit. But if you aren't consistent in what you say you're going to do, if people can't trust you, they are not going to sign up with you. So it starts at the basic level, even with the basics. Maybe it's like, if you're a wellness coach, do you have the healthy habits that a wellness coach would have? Yes or no, right? People are going to follow you. So when you disappear, momentum dies. And every time you disappear, you erode a little bit more of the trust. Now, I don't want you to sit here and say, oh man, you are speaking right to me and I have not done a good job of this. Well, you know what? The past is the past and we aren't going to dwell on that. We're not going to look at regret. But moving forward, you can build trust again. May take you a little bit longer, but you can build it. But it means that you're really going to have to double down at showing up. This is the heart of leadership. And leadership development is following through with what you said you were going to do. So now, before you put out the vision to the team, ask yourself, am I willing to commit to the vision myself? Am I willing to commit to the work? People are counting on me. Can I be the person that other people can count on when life gets hard? So important. All right, so let's kind of recap, right? Number one, we got to create the vision for ourselves first. Personal vision, personal life. Here's what I want for myself. Team vision second. Create the team vision. What do I want for my team? Why does it matter? Step number 3. How do I communicate to my team how them working toward the big shared vision is going to get them one step closer to their goal? What's in it for them? All right. Then we don't build just based on hype. We build with a roadmap. So then we're going to lay out, here's how we're going to get to the goal. Here's how we're going to, in the example I've used today, here's how we're going to double our organizational volume over the next 6 months. These are the programs I'm going to roll out. Then, last step, follow through. Do what you said you were going to do. Show up, be consistent, even when it's hard. Be the leader that you would want to follow. It's important that you are reminded all the time. And if you have to put this on a sticky note, if you have to write these bullet points like your vision is not selfish, my vision is not selfish, my vision inspires other people to go after the things that they want in their life. Look at me. If you follow me, if you're inspired by me, what part of my story has inspired you? Was it the way that I started with 0 Instagram followers and 75 Facebook friends and no sales experience? Was it that I was able to build a #1 team in the company, right? What inspired you? Was it that I started over again in business and found new passion, new life, new purpose? Think about that. Your vision isn't selfish, it's inspiring somebody else. Remind yourself, my team wants to be led. When I give my team that clarity, it gives them the security to put all their eggs in this basket and work the business towards the goal. When you give your team direction, you're giving them purpose. People want to be a part of a movement. They want to be part of something that's bigger than themselves. It's mission, right? Mission is so important. Movement, mission, that really matters. When you have your belief that is dialed in, you unlock the belief in your people too. Vision casting isn't just about getting your people to serve your dream. It's about giving your people a dream that they can run towards, that they can celebrate together. It's this shared vision. So friends, what I want you to do is I want you to sit with this. I want you to sit with your personal vision first. I want you to really revise, refine, reflect on that. And then I want you to work on your team vision. What's your team vision for 2026? Maybe you take the month of December, you really begin to lean into that. And then I want you to begin to build your roadmap. What are going to be the programs? What are going to be the initiatives? What are going to be the things that you roll out that are going to help you get your team, the current team and the future team that you're going to attract, to move towards that vision? Then I'm going to have you schedule a call and you're going to share that vision with your team. That's something that you are going to do. Because a vision can't stay quiet. We've got to share it with other people. So by the time we get to January 1st, can we just have a mutual understanding that we're going to do this, that we're going to have rolled this out? Because I know that the next version of you, the next best version of your leadership, your business lies in your ability to move people towards a common vision and a common goal. And it lies in your ability to actually follow through on what you said you were going to do. Friends, make sure that if you loved today's episode, you take a little screenshot of the episode. Make sure you tag me at the Melanie Mitro Show. Send me a direct message. Let me know what you loved about this episode today. And I also want to let you know, I take a very small number of private coaching clients every year. And I have one spot available right now for private coaching. I do 6-month and 12-month mentorships, and they're completely customizable coaching programs that I do that are designed around teaching you my systems and strategies to scale your business. And to do it in a way that feels aligned to your core values, but it's putting you in the position to show up with authority, with a clear vision and explosive growth. And if you are interested in one of those mentorship spots, you can go fill out the application. I'm going to put it right here in the show notes, and we can set up a discovery call. And this really is reserved for high-level leaders, right? You are making multiple 6 figures and you're leading a team. You have the basics down pat. It's not about teaching you sales, but it's teaching you how to scale, how to build your team, how to create duplication in your downline. And you are getting a front row seat and mentorship by somebody who is in the trenches doing exactly the things that I am teaching you in our coaching and mentorship sessions. So friends, I've got a spot open and I figured this is the perfect place to share it, is on the podcast. So don't hesitate to reach out. You can also send me a private message as well on Instagram if you'd like to chat more about my coaching program. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here today for the Melanie Mitro Show. I look forward to seeing you on next week's episode. And until then, have an amazing week.